have saved some money in order to buy a used car, whether home use or locally used, we'll talk more about that later. But you don't want to end up paying more than you should have bought the car. There are people who end up paying 20% or 30% more on a car they should have bought less. Do not worry. I am here to give you all the key factors you need to know as a guidance when you want to buy a used car. They will surely help you or guide you to get a car on a very good deal. You need to follow them. You understand? So without further ado, let's jump right into this video. The first and foremost thing you need to do is to research market prices. See, you can't just go out there, see a car and then go ahead and then buy it. You don't even have a knowledge about how much it is going for in the market. You either end up buying it overpriced. So we have platforms like Gigi, Tonaton. Even now they are just like a one company. We have Checky, we have Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, or even on YouTube as you are watching me around. So you have to compare prices, at least 10 of them. Compare prices, and then it will give you a fair idea of how much the car is going for in the market. So any place you see the car being sold, you know, okay, no, this car should be going for this price. So imagine a car is going for like $7,000, maybe let's say a 2018 Toyota Corolla, and you see like 10 of them from different platforms. Okay, 7,000, oh, 6,900, okay, 7,100, okay. Then you see somewhere like 12,000. Obviously it is overpriced, and you see somewhere and it is obviously going to be on Facebook, because Facebook is crazy. Then you go and see it like maybe 4,000, 3,000. Then you know, nah, this one is a red flag. I can't go for it, because so many researches are giving you 7,000, a little bit down, a little bit up. Then you understand, okay, the car should be around 7,000 ish. You understand? So you have to research the market prices and then have a fair idea of how much the car is being sold in the market. Let's go to number 2. Number 2, home use versus locally used. When you say home use, it is either the car has been imported from Europe, US, Canada, Korea, Japan, etc., into probably Africa. And if you say locally used, it means the car has been used in South Africa. The car has been used and registered in South Africa. It has been used and registered in Nigeria, in Ghana, in Kenya. Compare all this. So if you also want to take into consideration, I'll tell you, go for the home use, but the only disadvantage over there is the import duty. So now, compare the import. I know import duty in Africa is crazy. Ghana, it is crazy. South Africa is crazy. Nigeria, it is crazy. Kenya, it is crazy. And other African countries. But if you want to compare these countries, I think some of them surely have like obviously lower import duty. So you need to consider and then see how much the car costs over there. If you want to import it, how much it's going to cost you, the registration, the insurance and everything. And for locally used, I mean, if still your budget cannot buy you a home use, because I'll prefer or I'll advise you to go for the home use, because their roads over there are good. They service their car, they take care of their cars, and they are good. Unlike Africa here, our roads are bad. We don't service our cars, we don't maintain them, we don't regularly check the oil and all this. So I'll still advise you to go for the home use. But if your budget cannot actually help you getting there for the home use, I'll tell you to check up right here. I have a video over there which also talks about buying locally used cars, and then it gives you guidance to get good locally used cars. So you can check the video after you are done watching this. So for this number 2, I'll tell you to go for the home use. If your budget is good, if you can also be patient and then save more, you can get them to buy. You don't necessarily need to import the car yourself. There are dealerships and then garages where you can actually go and then buy home used cars. You understand? So yeah, go for the home used car. Let's go to number 3. Number 3, negotiate firmly. See, there are some people out there, when they are buying cars, they don't even take their time to negotiate. Like, they are impatient, and every seller expects you to negotiate. That's why they give you a beatable price. So if you don't go ahead and then maybe you pluck money from the trees, that's actually your own, so you end up buying it overpriced. Other than that, I'll tell you to take your time. You are giving the price, always cut it down and then give your own price. Take time, negotiate with the seller, check around the car and then tell them, okay, you see like there is this issue, this and that. I mean, just to end up buying it at a good price or at a very good deal, because I can't say cheap. There is a cheap car. If the car is going for such a price, they are surely going to give it to you at that price. But what you just have to do is to negotiate. Go ahead and negotiate with the person. Negotiate. That makes you a good buyer. Don't just go and then give any price out there. So yeah, number 3, negotiate. Let's go to number 4. Number 4, buy at the right time. See, every product in the world has a lower demand season and a higher demand season, and same goes with cars. They also have their lower and higher demand seasons. I really want to buy a car when the whole nation wants to buy a car. you surely want to buy it when the demand is low. And the higher demand season is like the holiday rushes or like periods like this, when people are coming from the diaspora, like they want to come back home and then celebrate with their families. They are not willing to compromise with public transport and other stuff. So they want to get something they can make a movement in town. And right now, like I have so many people like calling, okay, I want this car, I want that car. And you also don't want, you on a budget, you don't want to come out and then also look for a car during that moment. You're surely going to buy it at a higher price. Some lower demand seasons are like during rainy seasons. A lot of people are not interested in buying cars. So you can come out during that moment and then get yourself a good deal. Or when the new year is ending, there are some dealerships or garages who are clearing off their present stocks in order to bring in more. So they lower their prices. So you can also focus during that moment and then get yourself a good deal. You understand? If only you are patient. But if you know you have the money and then all these things are not things you want to actually pay attention and then wait and then get it, then you can go ahead and then just clear off this point. Now let's go to number 5. Number 5, private seller versus dealerships. The price a private seller or a private owner is going to sell a car to you is not the same as the dealership. Obviously, the dealership is too expensive. That's why most of you, when I post cars, you'll be like, the car is expensive, the car is expensive, you are overpricing, you are overdoing this. What if I tell you, ever since like all the cars we have been posting, we have never added even 1 peso as commission. Not even 1 peso, 1% as commission. Whatever the dealership gives is the same price we put out there. Trust me, we have never. But some of you still go ahead and be like, oh, the cars are expensive. If that's the case, then I'll just recommend you go to Facebook. You understand? You are going to get them very low price. And I'll tell you why at the last section of this video. So yeah, we have never ever added anything of such. So yeah, buying from a dealership is going to be expensive. It is always going to be expensive as compared to like someone who is just using it as a private car. So if you still want to get a good deal and you have patience and then you can still look around, it's going to be a bit tough. So focus on private owners because their prices are down. And for dealership, it's just the fact that the cars are not moving, their mileage is not going to be too high. Other than that, I'll still recommend. But for this particular point, I would recommend you buy from private owners because their prices are always going to be down. They are always going to be down. So buy from someone you see in town driving. Buy from someone who is like, buy directly from the person. Because even some people, when the person is selling a car for such price and they send it to any dealership to sell it for them, the dealership is going to put the price, boom, they inflate it. So that's how it goes. It's business, right? So always buy from private owners. If you still want to buy from dealerships, that's still a valid point for you. Now let's go to number 6. Number 6, look for car brands with available spare parts. See, there are some cars out there, right? If it gets spoiled, the parts you have to wait for 6 months before it is imported, and the kind of money you're going to spend on it. Unless you sweat, you get frustrated, you get depressed, like you just pack the car, or unless you give it for scrap. That's how it is. So we have cars like the Toyota, the Hyundai, the Nissan. There are so many out there, like they're so common. So getting a spare part, like it gets spoiled, you can call any mechanic shop and they tell you, okay, oh, we have this part, we have this part, we have this part. And you can they are easily accessible and also cheap. So focus on car brands that are major or that are popular in your locality, wherever you're watching from. So just make sure the car brand that are popular, that's what you want. But you want to be exclusive. Also know that when your car gets an issue or a problem or a repair, then you're surely going to suffer a bit, and it's also going to cost you. So I'll tell you to focus on popular cars in your locality. They will you get a good deal, and also when the car gets spoiled, you can easily maintain it or care for it or repair it. So now let's go to number 7. Number 7, check for fuel efficiency. Given the current price of fuel in Africa, it is crazy. It is everywhere. Is it Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa, Kenya? I said everywhere. Fuel, it is costly right now. You will want to go buy a car that will suck away all your money because you need fuel in order to move the car and you have to spend money on it. You want a car that is going to be economical. We have the cars like the Toyota Vitz, the Corolla, the Honda Civic. They have like very low fuel consumption as compared to like SUVs, these trucks. Bro, you're going to spend a lot on fuel and you don't want that. You don't want a car that will take away all your savings. You understand? So get yourself one that has like very lower fuel consumption and it's surely going to help you save some money also. So of course, yeah, number 7, check for fuel efficiency. Let's go to number 8. Number 8, verify documentation. You really don't want to buy a stolen car. You don't want to buy a car with forged documents. So you have to make sure you check all the documentation. You have to make sure the title and registration are good. You want to make sure the VIN number on the car and the VIN number on the registration or title or papers or documentation are the same. You want to make sure like the insurance, everything about the car is actually intact. You don't want to go buy any car that will give you a problem. Or later on you want to do anything with the car, or you get arrested like for any fraud. Bro, it is crazy. The main thing is check all the documentations. Don't rush to go buy the car. Make sure you check all the paperwork and make sure things are matching. There is nothing. If you see anything questionable, go ahead and then ask, bro, sis, why is this way and so on this car? They should give you a vivid explanation. If they cannot, back up. That's a red flag. So of course, make sure the documentations are right. Everything about it, the certificate, everything about the car is right before you go ahead and then get it. Now let's go to number 9. Number 9, test drive and assess the condition of the car. You only want to go buy a car that has problems you know nothing about. So you surely want to go test drive it to make sure the engine is okay, there's no oil leakages, there's no strange noises. You want to make sure the brakes are okay. You want to make sure the suspension is okay. You want to make sure the AC, the radio, everything, interior, exterior, there is no rust under the car. The lights are okay. You have to check all these things because so far as you are looking for a budgeted car doesn't mean you should go buy any scrap. So you have to make sure, even though the price is good, the car is also good, because the price can be good, but the product is not good. So you have to make sure all these things are checked. Go for a test drive. Check everything around it as I mentioned. And if things are good, you can go ahead and then transfer the money to the buyer. If not, another red flag, back off. Or any issue over there, if it is to be repairable, then you tell them either they reduce the price, then you go fix it, or they fix it and then you take it at the price or the budget you have. You understand? So yeah, go test and then assess the condition of the car. Let's go to number 10. Number 10, inspect the car with a mechanic. And this point just complements the number 9, but you still need it. You need a mechanic. Carry a mechanic along. If you have no knowledge about it, or even though you learned about all the things you should check when you are buying a car, I have another video up here. You can check about all the things you are supposed to check on a car before you go ahead to buy it, especially a used car. But still, go with a mechanic. They are specialists. They are specialized in it. So they check everything for you. You understand? Is it the brakes, the engine? If everything about the car is good, your mechanic will tell you. That's why you take your own mechanic. You don't use the dealership's mechanic or the person's private mechanic. No, go get your own mechanic. Carry the person along. It has to settle the mechanic well and well so that they can do a good job for you. So they check everything about the car and make sure things are okay. The most important features or parts are okay. If not, your mechanic will surely let you go. No, so that you don't end up buying a scrap and then regretting having spent money on it. So yeah, of course, go with your own mechanic to inspect the car and test drive it. Now let's go to number 9, which is the most important point I just wanted to tell you guys. So yeah, number 11, let's go. Number 11, be cautious of scams. I feel like this is just a bonus for those of you who have decided to watch till the end. I could have made it because this is the number 1 point, most important one. But just to reward you guys to haven't watched till the end, this is it for you. Bro, it is crazy out there. The car industry is crazy. The scams are so much. If you don't pay attention, you end up crying. You end up getting depressed because someone has fraudulently taken your funds away from you. It is crazy. So of course, you don't want to go meet any seller privately. No. You can either meet around the police station. You can either meet in a public place. And don't even go alone. Go with people. Like I used to see people coming like to buy a car and then they come like with 10 people, 15 people just to buy one car. And then I ask myself, why so many people? But now like it is very understandable. Like carry everybody. Even if it is like your whole empire, your whole village, get a bus, bring them. Everybody's checking to make sure like there is no problem, there's nothing. Of course, do that. It's your own money, you understand? So yeah, go along with someone. You go with a mechanic, you go with another trusted person, you go with other people, you check the car, you make sure everything around it is okay. Especially if you are unsure of the legitimacy of the seller, go with someone, you understand? So that you check everything, make sure the papers are right. Never ever transfer money before you get the car. You are never supposed to pay anything in advance. Even to come in to check the car, you are never supposed to pay anything. Your own is to come inspect the car. When you like it, you pay the amount you have agreed. If not, back off. You don't want anything. You don't want, okay, you have to buy later one. No. There is nothing later. And there is nothing to be sent in advance. And also, if you see a car that is so underpriced, that's why I told you in the first point, make sure you check the market. If you see a car that is so underpriced and they sell it to you and you think the car is still good, bro, a red flag. You might end up having issues. And I have another video right here, whereas people sell you cars and then they still come and steal it back. So they sell it to you at very underpriced. They come back and steal those cars. So you can watch that video and then get some advice and guidelines about how people come to steal cars back from you when you purchase it from them. So usually they sell it to you very cheap and they come back and take it. So be cautious about all these things. The scam is so much. So I appreciate you guys for having watched till this point. I have other videos right here. Is it the car prices you want to know from other countries in Africa? You can check right here and or check my playlist. Subscribe right now. Comment below about what you think about all this. Like this video, share with other people so that they can also benefit. And I am coming.